That was a joke Damien and I used to always say is, we love our job so much we do it twice and sometimes thrice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a damn good, that's a t-shirt right there.
Yep.
All aboard!
Outdoor service owners, rise and shine. It's time to start fueling your success one adventure at a time. Welcome back to Outdoorsy Entrepreneur, brought to you by House Call Pro, where business owners come to explore ways to take charge and level up. We are your hosts. I'm Kevin Fontaine, and this is mi amigo Patrick Carters. And join us on this journey every Wednesday. Like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and listen to wherever you get your podcast. And follow us on our social media platforms at Outdoorsy Boss. Hey, Pat, how's it going today?
I'm great. Having a wonderful day.
Good to hear, sir.
Always exciting to sit down and talk business. It's the nerdiness in me that I think I just have fun doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, every time I get like an idea of a business improvement or something that I'm working on, I'll get up super early, hit the coffee machine, throw the chew in.
Can't wait to talk to somebody, to tell somebody, like, I've got an idea. And,
this is going to be awesome. They're like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I've got another idea.
Especially your parents. You've told them so many.
Yeah, it's my wife. And she's like, what are you doing now? Why are you doing this? I'm like, not a lot of questions. This is just in concept phase right now.
I've got a new BHAG idea. She's like, fuck you. Oh,
yeah.
Shit. So,
yeah.
So what's going on? Anything been going on lately with work?
Yeah, we've been busy. So we're hitting that spring rush. So we got all our Google ads set up, our new postcards, new advertising, new website. We've been doing the rebrand, which is a whole experience, but just getting all that whole marketing train going, which we kind of held off a little bit January, February. And
did you, and you're doing some Facebook ads? And
yeah, we got Facebook ads, YouTube,
cool.
TikTok. You do it all.
Do you are you having good success with some of the Facebook?
Facebook we are, but we had to take it in-house. So I've always paid people to do it for terrible results and just said, screw it, we'll just manage it ourselves. And it's not that complicated, but it is something that is working, that there are leads out there on Facebook.
And I've heard a thing that we've become inundated with all this social media advertising that prices have really gone up since 3 years ago.
Probably.
Really?
We just set a budget. So we set a budget, go after our target, and kind of keep it in line. That's an important thing. It's so easy to just throwing money at advertising, and you can get done with the end of the year and go, "What the hell did I do? I spent all my money that I would have made on marketing and didn't bring me a lot of business." So it's being on top of that, watching how it's achieving, what results you're getting, and how much money you're spending. So it is something you got to manage.
All right, cool. And this episode we talked about kind of a sales process to follow. Yeah. Some steps to take to improve your sales process, elevator pitches, developing that morale and comfort with your client so you don't pull that Tommy boy freak out mode on your clients and scare them away.
Yeah, choke the sale,
because clients can sense if you are...
Bees and dogs can sense fear, and customers can too. They can sense desperation too.
Desperation, and if you're lying.
Oh, yeah, you're done. I found it's easier to be honest because you don't have to have a good memory, and I have a terrible memory when I'm, I could remember like everything that happened on a job, but then I'll see the customer and be like, I don't even know who you are. But then like they start telling me, I'm like, oh yeah, you have your transformer here, you have 16 lights on the front. I'll remember all the dumb things that I don't need to remember, but yeah, the customer, I forgot about them.
Yeah, and it's awesome because the more you rehearse and know what you're doing, it's so fun when customers ask you questions because it just rifles up everything in your memory, and it's bam, got it.
You do have to practice. We actually do role playing, so I'll make my salespeople do that because it's amazing. Like I'll assume people are going to do it the way I want them to do it, but then you go and listen to them, and you're like, holy crap, where did you get so far off? And I'll do that myself, where I'll shortcut my presentation. I'll shortcut, how I'm doing things, and then wonder why I don't have good results. So, you have to be fresh, and you have to be rehearsing it in your mind, writing it down, looking at it, reviewing it. Yeah. It's like playing baseball, and you go and look at your swing and why you went into a big slump. And you put a hitch in the swing somewhere that ruins everything.
So that's good Good to know. So if you have like a script or something, sales pitch that maybe from people just calling in, practice it with the people that are going to answer the phone with you.
Yep.
I know even Pat Automation answering services,
Yep.
they'll take your script too,
Yeah.
and they'll say what you want them to say, hopefully. But
But I had one that I hired, and I called in just to check on him, and he's like, "Enlightened Lightning." No, my company was Enlightened Lighting, and I'm like, "Lightning?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "What do you guys do with lightning?" He's like, "I'm not sure." I'm like, "Why did they name it Lightning?" And we just went on for like a minute, and I'm finally like, "I'm the owner of the company. You guys are fired."
oh, oh man, no chances.
Yeah, you can't mess up the name.
Getting cold on them,
Yeah.
no doubt. So we touched on sales technique and following a process, and
Yeah. Sitting down at the kitchen table.
yeah, if you can get inside, because that's when they're bringing their guards down with you.
Yeah.
They trust you to come in their home
Yeah.
or office.
Yeah. An architect that's presenting drawings isn't going to do it on the front porch.
Yeah,
Going to go sit inside and walk through a plan, come up with some ideas, some feedback back and forth. An interior designer, same thing. You're not meeting with an interior designer on the front porch. You're going inside, you're sitting down, you want to understand what the customer's looking for. So
yeah.
we have to have that same,
Personal.
even if we're cutting grass, you just want to go, "Hey, I want to sit down, talk to you, see what you're looking for, what your expectations are, what mine are." And, make sure that everything's
For a
a good
fit.
fit.
Yep.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to give them an explanation of, well, we appreciate you calling on us to tell us what you need, but unfortunately, we're not able to serve your needs, as hope for the best in the future. And you may have a recommendation for them.
Yeah.
You may know of someone else.
Yep. Here's someone you could use that would probably be a better fit for you.
So rejection. How do you handle rejection in a sales call?
It's hard. I mean, we've all done it where we drive by the house after we've done everything went great on the presentation. Customer loves you. You think everything's perfect. All of a sudden you drive by, and for us, like, lights are on the house. You're like, what the hell happened?
Right.
Like, how did I lose that? And I think that's just going back to the core. Like, you're not going to get every job. It's
Right.
you can't be that emotionally involved where your feelings get hurt. But then it's going back to, like, what was my process like? Was I following my core? Was I going through my presentation? Did I, what was the reason they moved forward with someone else?
And also, you can, if you're brave enough, you can call them and ask them why did they choose the other outfit, and that'll give you some good insight to use.
Yep.
I think before, when we've done that, obviously it's going to be, well, they were in the neighborhood and they said they could get to me quicker.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get they were cheaper all the time.
Yep.
But it may be they liked their solutions better.
Yep.
Or yada yada. So
I think I'm going to get every job, but it doesn't happen.
right.
I do have one of my favorite letters that I share with customers where they were looking at one of the big lighting franchise companies. They went with them, and then he wrote me a letter 2 years later. It said, like, hey, they were 15% less. I was saving money, but 2 years later, Enlightened had to come by, tear out the system, put a whole new system in, so I ended up spending twice as much as I would have.
Okay, there you go. And what's that proverb that
Preverb.
you pay for it now or you pay for it later, baby?
Yeah.
You pay something cheap, you're going to be fixing it all the way down the road.
Yeah, we've done that. I mean, as a young homeowner, I made so many mistakes going with trying to work with a guy to be the GC and manage everything and get in over my head, just to find out that by the end of it, I had to do it twice. And that was a joke Damien and I used to always say is, we love our job so much we do it twice and sometimes thrice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a damn good, that's a t-shirt right there.
Yep.
So yeah, rejection is fine. It's going to happen. Resistance is normal, but have answers to some resisting questions, especially if you still have them on the hook.
Yeah.
What are you going to say when they say, hey, your price is too high? Have some things already pre-rehearsed, and practice them among your family, your staff as well, because they're going to have questions that you may not have thought of to rebuttal your quote or try to put holes in your quote.
Yeah. And reduce the ego. That's one of your big things is not being such an egomaniac that you have to be perfect. Someone says, you guys are expensive. I say, oh yeah, we are. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. No.
Reduce it down and then go, here's the reason we are expensive is because of X, 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 and X. Now we could be cheaper if we did this, but I don't want to do that because, you might be disappointed with me in 5 years if I did this, or if I cut this corner, went cheaper product, whatever it is. So I'd rather apologize for my price than to apologize for poor quality or whatever later down the road.
Yeah, and a lot of times when we had big ticket sales items, we would introduce financing for them.
Yeah.
Payment plans that we might have offered internally. You can pull up to a house and pretty quickly judge if that's your ideal customer or not.
Yeah.
By the way the landscape looks, if they've had their house painted in the last 100 years.
Yeah.
If they drive a damn Pinto from 1972 recall,
Yep.
or they got a Tesla in the driveway. So you can pick up on factors.
Yep.
But you've got you never know. We just doing a cleanup today at a house, big ass house. The damn landscape's been neglected for years, Pat.
Yeah.
This is going to make one of those YouTube, I stopped and mowed his lawn
For
after
free.
15 years for free. So I took video of it for that potential.
Did you do it for free?
Hell no. I don't do anything. I don't take a crap for free.
Yeah.
But no, but he paid me cash, which was crazy.
That's nuts.
So I had to run to the bank for a damn crazy ideas in my head. Well, it's Friday, when we record here. So,
yeah.
A lot of cash in your hand and it's Friday night.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Come on, hon. Let's go to the steakhouse.
Let's go get some dinner and drinks.
Let's go to Golden
Margarita
Corral. Yeah, margarita night. Dude, that's a good call tonight, dude.
Yeah.
Go
Not
to
a bad
nice
one.
Mexican restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Right.
check your head trash, because I've seen it in myself. I've watched other people where, a customer says something. Like you hear 3 times in a day that you're too expensive. And all of a sudden you start really doubting yourself. You start doubting what you're doing, and it just starts creeping in. And that's where you become that desperate, creepy guy at the bar that's just trying to hit on girls. That it's like they all run away from you because, you're alone, you're desperate, and you just need money.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And when you're in sales, like you're desperate, you want to get that sale, and you have no confidence, you're not getting it. So you do have to check that, like recharge your battery, talk to other people. It might just be a good friend or another business owner going like, hey, you just saw 3 shitty customers. It's not that big of a deal. Move on to the next one.
Yeah. Or fire. Yeah. Or throw in that Tony Robbins.
You could be anything.
Your sales process. Do you like to send people anything via email, or do you like to hand deliver anything like that?
It depends on what it is. Proposals, I always want to present. I always want to be there, walk them through the numbers, walk them through questions, get the reaction. Like I said, you have to present that full price and just sit there and be quiet. Shut down everything. Don't say a word, have a drink, whatever. Other things, like when I want to follow up with a customer, I think you need a systemized approach to follow up. When you're following with your customers, like most of your competitors never follow up at all. They just send a proposal and move on to the next customer.
Okay.
And there's so much, you put so much energy into that. There's so much relationship you built into that. And, we don't want to be pushy and annoying. And on the other side, like we want to make the sales process easy. So it's like communicating that to your customers.
Exactly. We used to have a form of like how we doing form.
Yeah.
That our customers would fill out. Current, and anybody can fill it out. But if they had a problem with the process, they could put it in there.
Yeah.
And that would give us some insight on what we're doing wrong at times. But
yep. And there's a great book out by River City Pools. I can't remember the author's name, but it kind of changed my mindset a little bit on you need to think about things from the customer's perspective and not ours. Like from our perspective, we want to get the sale. We want to look at it from, why are they not moving forward or whatever it is. And we've already got these ideas. So for the customer, we want to deliver to them after the sale things that might be interesting. We want to, I don't want to call in and say like, hey, just checking in to see if you're looking at your proposal. Because the answer is always like, oh, I haven't had a chance to look at it. Oh, okay. well, this is
Yeah.
just awkward and weird now. So,
All
I
right,
want to
bye.
go to them. Yeah. When do you want me to call you back to check in again? Never. Ah, great.
Okay.
So you want to present something to the customer, like calling them up with a purpose, like, and you could do it for the same thing. Like, one thing is a thank you card is a simple, hey, handwritten little card. Thank you so much for meeting with me. It was a pleasure. Really loved your property. Have some great ideas. Sending that out. Nobody sends thank you cards out, or, here's an article that you might be interested in.
Yeah. And I think also if you sense that they are, you're very close on price, but something just isn't right, be prepared to get that out of them and try to appease them best way you can. A lot of times we would never reduce our price in a bid. We would just reduce services. So you have to kind of hold your guns there, but you may have, hey, if a neighbor signs up at the same time, I can cut my travel and boom, you save $15 a shot. So start getting creative to save a sale too.
Yeah. Last resort is discounting. That's what you want to avoid. The one social media platform that nobody uses, it's probably your best thing for follow-up with customers, is LinkedIn. You remember the last time you were on LinkedIn?
No.
Everybody has an account, but nobody really uses it.
No.
But like a lot of times you're meeting with business owners, especially you're meeting with the guys, and you friend somebody on LinkedIn and you have a pretty active account. It's a totally different platform than you're not going to find your customers on TikTok or even Facebook
Tinder
as much. Yeah. But
no, I think, LinkedIn's like the Facebook with a suit on.
Yeah. It's
becoming
the boring one.
more and more like Facebook.
Yep.
They're
But
trying
it
to
is
get super social.
Yeah, it is for like if you want to be the customer's peer and they want to see you in a little different light, LinkedIn is where I've actually had a lot of contact with really good customers. So after an appointment, I'll just friend them on LinkedIn. That's another point of contact is they see you, they pop up, they accept it, they look at your page again, and they see you're different than, Joe Blow out there.
Yeah, and you can give them recommendations and accolades for a property manager or a business that you're working for. That's pretty cool too. They appreciate that.
Oh yeah, goes a long way. Yeah. But on average, we went through this whole Cardone training, which he's kind of crazy, but on average, it takes 8 to 12 points of contact. Once you walk out and you presented your pricing and you don't get it, it's 8 to 12 points of contact before that customer comes back.
Wow.
So we found that our sales cycle was forever. Like when we were presenting, if we didn't get a sale then, which wasn't often, it might be 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months before a customer would move forward. And then we started looking at like, well, how quickly are we getting to 8 points of contact if that's average? And, often it was like, well, I called in, I asked if I was checking in, we did an automated email, and then we did something else. And there's 3 points of contact in a year.
Yeah.
And so over the last couple of years, we just made a more concerted effort to say, a system to go, every customer goes through the same system. So my office manager knows what it is. It might be a video chat that you send or a video email you could send out that's going through, or I had an idea on your property. Have you ever thought of lighting this crepe myrtle? Something stupid, but it's like,
and I think you got something there because we used to do the videos with Keep software where it automated, and every phase of the project, we would have a special video for them to look at. Some of them can be generic, some of them will be client specific, but that personality that you bring to your process is crucial because it keeps them in the loop and it makes them more a family, welcoming environment. But if you've got, you're still hunting down the sale, like Pat says, send them like a cool video you record on your computer, showing them some snippets of a video or a picture or any other, maybe the quote itself, recapping something that you have some leverage on now that you want them just to know about. That's a great idea.
And a lot of times we just do reducing the scope. If everything was equal and they had the money for it, they would have just moved forward. But they had some number that stuck in their mind. And rather than going back for a discount, just, I could pull up their picture of their house on Keep and walk them through like, hey, if we would eliminate these path lights and some of these trees in back and do this, we could get that price down to about $8,000. Get it installed next week. Let me know if you want to move forward here. So it's just a real easy way to show that you're really interested in the project.
Yeah.
And telling people you're interested, like, I'm really excited to do this. Like, this will be a fun project. That's,
Yeah,
when
get them
people
amped.
see your, yeah, exactly.
Passion. Get them excited about it, because this is evolving their own property, commercial business, whatever, but it's adding value to their homes.
Yeah.
I used to tell people a lot of times when we did landscape upgrades, new plants, lighting, that they're going to get this back when they go to sell the house. I know it's a lot of money now. You're spending 20, 30, 50, 70, a lot of money. So most of the times they're going to get that back in the added value, that curb appeal that we bring as outdoor service providers. So
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt to tell people that as well.
Yeah. I always love a story Nels Peterson tells. He's walking around with a client at night after doing a design. Customer spent over $100,000 on lighting. The customer's like, I can't believe I spent over $100,000 on landscape lighting. And
I can't either.
Nels looked around and he said, doesn't it feel good though? And that's all he said. And the guy's like, it does. And it's kind of like,
hey, Fonz move.
You hate buying, you buy a new truck or you buy a BMW and you hate spending the money. But once you get behind the wheel and you start driving it around, you're like, all right, this is pretty cool.
This is way cool.
People like buying things.
They love buying stuff but the feeling that they get back, when they buy that M Series BMW, they bought that damn thing for a reason.
Yeah.
Because that shit has traction. But yeah, it's the exhilaration. You would go outside and you're enjoying that audio system, the lighting system, that new patio, the gazebo, the fire pit barbecue. Yep. Dude, that makes my day. Talk about a Friday kick-ass party.
Oh, yeah.
On that new patio.
Yep. You imagine, I say all the time, like, imagine next weekend, we could have the lights put in, we could put your audio system in. It's just, you're painting that picture in their mind, like, invite a bunch of friends over because I guarantee the work's going to get done. And just building that out.
One thing too, Pat, because we are big on outdoor living. So we're enhancing people's outdoor living, right?
Yep.
So after the job, pay for a catering, bring in a bunch of food, have that cookout on their brand new patio, have them invite 10 to 20 of their closest family and friends.
Yep.
And talk about a cool, bring your own wine, kind of set up the party for them so they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You host a party on their patio, have a nice little stack of brochures. You're not selling, but you're entertaining, you're celebrating their new patio. That's really cool. Next referral type.
Yeah.
Engagement.
Jan Moyer does that on every job. She does reveal night.
Okay.
So that's what I haven't just had the time and energy to do that, but it is, I know people that do. And it's like, that's a game changer. You get, all of a sudden it's dark. You let all the lights go off. You hit a button on your phone. The lights come on, hit another button. The music comes on. The grass looks perfect. Trees all manicured. Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
They get that perfect evening and everybody else wants that.
Yeah. So guys, what we're just saying is just elevate your thinking of your ability to do sales and what can you do to make more money, make more profit on jobs, not competing down to nothing and just annihilating your profit, but coming up with ideas to enhance your profitability and enhance the customer's experience.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're celebrating our clients.
And it's systems and processes. Systems, processes, people, those are all the big things. And you need to have a system on following up with customers. Because if you don't, your office manager is thinking that she's just bugging everybody. If you're like, give him a call, see what he's up to. And they're going to have a terrible script. So you got to take a little time and think about, like, how can I follow up with somebody, 8 times in 2 months that's engaging? What are things I can do? And it's just simple things, without saying I'm just checking in. So you kind of went from the plant business, like loving plants, so lighting made sense to make it look good at night. Mm-hmm. I love plants on the other side. I plant at home all the time, and I'm always screwing around with trees, but it's because I like lighting. So it's just a different perspective going at it. But
yeah, and it's talk about pride. Me and you get to drive by our work and show our kids, look, I built that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it is cool. Like, hey, I did that entranceway. I did that. I did this one. And,
it's awesome.
And then I I drive by and they're like, look at that shitty job over here. Oh, my wife is like, she's
I
so
did
tired of
Long time ago, though.
a long time ago. Yeah.
See that
but
wall falling down? Yeah, that was my first wall.
That was our first wall. We'll go back and fix that.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's very gratifying. And the stuff we do outside, guys, lawn care, hardscaping, irrigation, everything, it's instantaneous. Building that deck, taking down that tree, putting in lighting, redoing a landscape, putting in a brand new sod, everything that we do is like so quick.
Yeah.
So the satisfaction rate we have with our clients is really amazing. And that's how you really help boost your brand and keep moving as long as you're doing things the right way.
Yeah. And that's why you have to do this business side, because the artistry is fun. Like you picture something in your mind that nobody sees and you create it and you make it happen. It's like you get that awe-inspiring moment where the customer's just like, how the hell did you do that? So then you got to figure out, like, you could be the greatest artist in the world, but if you can't sell, nobody's going to buy it. If you can't do it every single time, and produce the same way, if you're not managing, you could go bankrupt being a great artist. So it's like, that's why this podcast, why I love it so much, is because, we want to help free you up to do the things you love to do. And a lot of times, like setting up a standard operating procedure on managing employees isn't the passion that you may have. It may be, wasn't mine, but it's something you have to do so that you can be freed up to do what you love doing.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up this episode, and make sure you comment, like, subscribe, Outdoorsy Entrepreneur on YouTube, and check us out at social media platforms out at Outdoorsy Boss, and check out House Call Pro. This is really nice software, helps you level up your professionalism, act quickly for client needs, reduce stress. We've got a description down below where you can see the link and get a special introductory rate. And big thanks to everybody again for helping drive up our professionalism and introducing new, better ways to do business that reduces stress, but may increase profit for you. All right, Pat. So we can't wait to see everybody. When next week? Next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
All right. See you guys.
See you later.